AMD so far that retest
What's going on, y'all? Man, I'm a little late. Already took a trade today. Today is Monday, August 24th, man. 6:50 flow in the morning. PST, California time. You already know what time it is, bro. Let me give y'all a quick review of what I did. I already took a trade. It was a winner. Did my selling out. Didn't go too crazy with the cons, but I'll show you. So pre-market, 15 time frame, pre-market, market looking good. So Intel is a trade that I took. So it's in this list of stuff. These are all the ones I was looking at. Where like, all right, cool. These are some of the stuff I'm looking at. Nothing too serious, right? Shut up. But I had alerts set on a few of them, which is these, right? Until I trigger first, shoot it after. But I'm looking for which one makes the most sense when it comes down to volume. Is it overextended, etc. Right? So far, Q's is bouncing. Boom. Like I said, I already set my levels based off of that, right? So remember I said stacks, right? We got our stacks. Blue line, green line means down, and if we're going up,
so there's two scenarios here for Tesla. Either
green line, blue line. You want to make sure that it's stacked properly. Green line on top, and going up, right? That's what I'm aiming for. As you can see, it went down, so automatically eliminated from my trends, right? This still in the range, so it's capable of still reaching both sides. So I didn't close that out. Boom, this right here. This already hit my thing, as I showed you before. So I'm looking at this, where it's like it's still something I'm willing to trade, but I'm also not gonna trade it unless it comes back up here, right? It has to come back up here. I'll set an alert because I want to break and retest on that. So as you can see, it's pushing. That's on the 15, so we'd have to go look at it on a smaller time frame, but it's still pretty valid, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move up all of these that are still valid within my trend. I don't know if I can't see me, but I know I'm here, so it is what it is. Let's let this one drop down. The chance of this coming all the way back up for me to touch it is very unlikely, so I eliminate that from my watch. Coinbase, same thing. It pumped up, it hit this, rejected, and went down. Like I said, this is what I'm aiming for anyway, because this gap is too small for me to take a trade. Because if I take a trade here, it might hit this and reverse it. We don't really want to take a low probability push, right? So we're closing that. Boom, hood is another one I'm watching. Like I said, it fell down. Chance of hitting that, like I said, still has that on top. Like that was a decent range for dollar move. Maybe I could have caught. But I wanted to see how it breaks out and stuff like that. So that's not right. But look, the biggest thing that really affects this is this. As you can see, bro, this is going down. This controls the overall market, right? So I'm looking for the downside. Already broke below that, so I'm like, okay, it's strong below. There's a great chance I don't really want to take a long, right? So as you can see, the longs don't show strength, right? Because they'll push up. Like sometimes you might get a stock that pushes above, right? So those wide, there's only two of those, right? So now let's go at AMD. AMD did break below, right? So this is something I was also watching. We'll come back to that. We'll talk about it, right? This one also is one that I was watching. Like I said, it pumped up, hit blue line. Chance of coming back down, not likely. So I don't want to take that. Nvidia also showed another potential one. I'm going to show you guys why I didn't take that either. Boom. This one, Apple. Don't like it. Didn't push down. Wouldn't want to take that. Right. This one right here. This is low-key the strongest one, where it's like it's already at the zone. It broke this. I mean, the chance of it keep pushing is very likely. But this right here didn't show what I wanted. On my other screen, it would have been something I would be super aggressive. I don't like taking a trade in the first 5 minutes of the market open. And that's when the trades I would most likely have to take. So we'll talk about that, so I'll leave that there. But that was probably the least likely, just because I don't trade that stuff often. I think it has a wider spread, but something that I'm keeping my eye on just because the Discord I'm a part of mentioned it. So far, just a little bit stronger than like I said, so now let's go to the 1 minute. This is usually my setup for a screen setup, right? That's how I keep TQQ here, because that kind of tells me like what is the market showing me, right? Like higher lows, higher lows. So that means the chance of it bouncing back up, and it already broke the low this, so I'm already in the bias mindset of we want to see a down trend. So let's talk about it. So now when I come down here, I try to double check this. Okay, 5 minutes still shows bearish. 5 minutes still shows bearish. And we got AMD, right? So those kind of like the main watches because like I said, I'm already biased on the downside, right? But NBI is right. Boom. It hit this level, right? So to me, I want to see a retest, right? So like I said, boom. On the second minute, it went and retest. I would have to be super aggressive and most likely take a trade right under this blue candle, set my stop here, and be willing to hold that down through here, right? Which would be have hit my target of a 2-to-1 ratio. But my problem is it's too aggressive, right? Too aggressive within the first 5 minutes. I'm not going for that, right? Like, don't get me wrong, it definitely shows my strategy. And sometimes you gotta be willing. This would be a jet sweep, right? But like I said, it didn't push high. Like it pushed into the sweep area, but I would want it to have been closer to this, right? Where it's like it bounced off this, and I'm in it. Like I said, within the first 5 minutes, wouldn't want to take it too aggressive for me. So that's not something I'm willing to watch, right? So I know you probably signing back. That's my Discord that I'm a part of, live trading, and with live trade, I definitely don't want to risk getting into anything that I'm not saying, but I'm just going to see a little something on the chart. Think real quick. I'm new to this, so trust that. So, for example, I just had an alert that just went off right here, right? Alert, you can see it. You can see it, but you do a little alert. So what I would do is I would look at this alert. I don't know, look at this alert. Right. Meta is the name that was on my watch. Right? This is on my second stream. Let's talk about that since it's live, right? Only name that's strong right now is Apple above previous day high. Meta just showed up. Meta just showed up. So let's see what Meta looking like. Let's get it loaded. So Meta, boom. This is not a safe trade. Like you can see, blue line of green line. I don't want to take that, but it's on the 1 minute, so it's looking like it could flip over. 5 is good. Still rejecting right off that. 15 is good. So this is still valid. It's just something that is very tough to trust. But you can see it hit that and it reversed. Look at that. Look at that. Look at those. Let me get a little bit. Literally hit that. And I'm also looking at my second screen. I'll let y'all get a good feel for that. I'll just let y'all get a good feel for that. Let's see if you can drop here with giving AMD that next leg to the downside here as well. Let me show y'all something. This is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm looking at. So, boom. This right here, as you can see, it started off down and up and down. So it's a little confusing, but you gotta break structure. You gotta, you see, as you can see, it's the candle we looking at right now. So far, it's not holding. It's not holding. I use the Fibonacci candles here, levels. It's like this is a few different indicators I like to watch. I also understand the price action of the candles. I'm not really good at watching price action. So you have to find ways to make it easier for you to read, right? So as you can see, these are some of the alerts I set, right? They show up, you know. But when I'm watching them, there's certain things I'm not going for, right? So let's go back to the main screen. Let me explain this screen once I explain main strategy, because that's your bread, right? This is the bread. The other is the butter, right? As you can see, this could be a retest, but I want a full candle break and retest. You know what I'm saying? I'm not liking it. Like I said, it's weakening, which means it won't be pushed back down. And if you're trying to push it up, it's not pushing up. You know what I'm saying? So, not something I'm too interested in. Like I said, if it does end up showing up, I kind of already see why. The only reason I take it is if it shows me something I want to see, but it's already pumping too strong based off of my other screen. that tells me it's not worth allowing it to be that. You know what I'm saying? I should run it slow. And I gotta reset it. I haven't restarted my computer in a minute, so.
Yeah, let's see if we get that QQQ low day flush here. So Q's is going to come back down into that 703. Now we want to see a break of that 703 here. Q's right at support level AMD at 451. A little bit of buyers on AMD.
Back over here.
Area.
So now,
AMD just maintained below essentially
we'll talk about the trades I didn't take. Ask for support. So we're looking at AMD and NVIDIA. These sister stocks. NVIDIA has earnings this week, so you know it's gonna be a little bit different, a little bit wonky, but you know still might show up. So AMD, as you can see, I set up this right. It went and it broke below because it was my level of target of blue line, which is the daily support resistance. I seen this. I'm like, alright, cool. It came up. I should slow y'all my bad. But it went up, came, broke below, right? This right here, I could have retested it off of this. But this is a tough zone. This is a tough zone. You see, and then they'll come all the way up and test. Right? And it's low key a little sweet. Because the sweep can start in the pre-market, but I'm not going to take that, right? Like I said, I have to be super aggressive. I'm not at a point where I can be super aggressive. Maybe one day, but not today. I don't trust in the early morning. But like I said, it's something I do notice in the trading, but it's not part of my strategy yet. Maybe in the future. Right? So boom. What I wanted to see was it break below here, and like one of these candles retested. If it had retested, I would have been okay. As you can see, I set that up here. This would be my stop loss, the swing high of this candle. Or depending on how good, like I'll show you the other when I took where's like for example, let's look at Intel, which is pretty much the same setup. If we look at it, and that's how you gotta understand this shit. It's pretty much the same setup. It boom, boom below the blue. Boom, boom below the blue. As you can see, there's red up at the top, but like it had already broke outside the market. So I was definitely gonna take that over that. But like I said, because it's so close to this, I want to see it go below this before I can touch it. And it did exactly that. Big candle underneath. After the first 5 minutes, it retested. Okay, damn, perfect. Like I said, it was a little bit off, but I was willing to take it because the risk wasn't too much. Contracts were too expensive. I got for 2 for 1. So I'm like, bet, boom, I got it right here. Like literally, right this tight here. Right. So now, alright, that perfect. The reason I got into it is because of my other screen, right? It's like I'm looking at where the volume is, where's everything. Compared to this, I would want to see that retest right here for maybe, alright, cool, bet, I'm taking it. As you see, it bumped up and kind of down. It's not coming back. This right here, you never show me down for a retest. Oversold, so I'm not touching it. Here's oversold, I'm not touching it. Here's oversold, but it's a lot. Based off of the level of the strength, it had a lot of chance to push. This is already overly pushed. This wasn't overly pushed. I was counting on it. Like she started bouncing, but it didn't bounce to the level I want. Because the bread tells me where I should put the butter. You know what I'm saying? The reason I put the second, I wanted to see because I already took profit like right here within like the lower this type vibe. Right, it didn't hit it all the way. I could have held a little bit more, but it was what it was. It showed me a good return. Probably hit like 50% on one contract. So alright, cool. Let's not be too greedy. Let's take that. But I could have held that some more and let it touch that. That would have been another 2-1. I could have jumped because the reason why I was looking to jump into this and jump into another 2-1 move, which it actually did give me. Right? But like I said, I didn't want to be greedy. Didn't want to put myself in a position to get burnt. I just wanted to see if it played out. So I can delete that. It actually did play out how I did. That's all I really wanted to see. But like I said, it's the trade I took based off of that. So now let's talk about my second screen. And then I'll be done for the day. You know, I don't need to talk too much.
the Qs does break below a bid, the next level is going to be that full daily gap, which is down into the 701.
So now let's look at Intel. What's the difference between Intel and AMD? Like you said, they both showed up. What made me go for AMD? And what made me go for Intel and not AMD? Look, AMD, it reversed, right? It reversed, but it literally did the same thing as this one. But for me, it's a volume thing, right? It was too much volume at the time that I wanted to take it, right? Whereas it's like, for example, this right here is 1. Right? These numbers matter. This right here taught me a lot. Something it took me like 3 or 4 months to really understand. But like I said, it's my bread and butter, so y'all probably won't understand. But look at this. This shit didn't even hit 1. Like, look at how much volume it still had to go, right? And it's probably because not a lot of people in there. But look how much. Look at the volume in here. Look at the volume. Look at the volume. The volume's dead now. So this is what the volume is, and it's not long reading. So I mean, the money is being put into here. So I'm like, cool. 5-minute broke. Cool. Let me touch that. Let me touch that. I've seen it slow down a little bit because low key, this wasn't a high probability because these started reversing. We don't want to see reverse. We want to see it get bigger, longer. I was willing to take it because everything was so perfect on this. Like I said, but I was also because it wasn't.
Yeah,
it was missing this piece. I was like, because this is like secondary compared to the other market, so you have to be on it, but you could be a little bit off of it. Just things have to make sense. Like I said, this is my strategy, so you won't understand it as well as I do. Yeah, I was seeing different patterns, but I've seen a pattern before. It's like, it's already going down, so strong value now. This is curling up, and the volume is coming up on the downside. Right? Alright, cool. This is coming, right? Like I said, it was reversed a little bit. Like I said, the volume still came. You see? The volume still came, and I was still able to see it long. See, these were small, boom, boom, boom. Like a big move down on these. And still kept pushing because this could be a divert because at the end of the day, all this is the volume of sales are decreasing, but look how much volume was there compared to each other, right? So it's gonna hold up because there's still a lot of contracts that still need to be sold, and people are still holding on trying to milk the profit. That's pretty much it on today's trading. Hopefully that taught you guys something worth knowing. Until next time.